Hi everyone, welcome to Moon Garden. My name's Abigail and today I'm going to show you how to make an apple and blackberry crumble for tea. I used Honeycrisp apples and blackberries from my local grocery store, but you can substitute varieties of apples and berries if you have a local orchard or can forage. To make the crumble, begin by peeling 2 apples that are good for baking. Cut each apple into halves and then core the insides. The apples should be cut into small pieces so that they cook thoroughly. Put the apples into a small pan and with it add 60 milliliters or 4 tablespoons of water, followed by 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Cook on a low heat for 15 minutes and stir occasionally to make sure the apples cook evenly. The apples are perfumed and the cinnamon is fragrant. The smell would make anyone feel at home. Divide the mixture of apples evenly into 6 ramekins. My ramekins are small. If you have a larger size, you would probably just want to use about 4. Next, it's time to jewel the apples with blackberries. They're not all the same size, so make sure to cut the very large ones in half. I like to use 4 to 5 blackberries for each ramekin. To make the crumble topping, put 65 grams of gluten-free flour or 1/2 cup into a small or medium-sized bowl. Add 2 tablespoons of almond flour and 3 tablespoons of plant-based butter. In the past, I have also at this stage added the oats and the sugar, and I think that I would recommend that more than doing it in stages. The reason is that I felt like my topping became a little bit too dark, and I think it's because of how the sugar was dispersed. But if you choose to do it in stages, then next you'll add 50 grams of coconut sugar or 1/3 cup. Add 35 grams of rolled oats or 1/3 cup and crumble away. Divide the crumble topping evenly over your ramekins. Can take a while to figure out how much to add, so just go gradually. Go to the next one and then add the same amount and then go to the next one again and repeat the process until it's finished. Put onto an unlined tray for baking in an oven that's been heated up. That's going to be a 200 degrees Celsius oven or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes until tops are golden. Allow them to cool for 10 to 20 minutes before serving. Next, it's time to put the kettle on. We had my parents over for an evening tea and we used the last 2 of our caffeine-free tea. This one was rooibos tea. It's not commonly known, but this time of year is known as the 5th season. It's like a twilight season that does not last long, but it's right around when the blackberries and apples overlap. It's an enchanting season where the butterflies are still around before they migrate to a warmer climate, and then the winds of change emerge. It's time to get cozy with family and friends, share stories, and just linger the night away. To prepare for this 5th season, I've been gradually saving apple and blackberry related vintage from China to millinery and ornaments like these paper butterflies. Finding things in store and online helps you to pace yourself. I'm still working on a vegan custard recipe, which would be great with this crumble. So in the meantime, my dad voted for a cashew ice cream instead of a plant-based whipped cream, and we all thought that sounded good. My husband Matt likes to keep his sugar intake on the low side, so he opted out of having the ice cream. But It all changed when he saw how happy we were, and he ended up having some too. Neither of my parents are plant-based or gluten-free, but good food is the great unifier. As they had just come back from a long weekend away, this was the perfect end to the night, and we all laughed and shared stories and just had a nice little evening together. The very vintage thing to do is have standard recipes that you can rely on, as well as a few key elements for entertaining like a teapot and a few cups and saucers, whether they match or not. As the seasons change, you can decorate here and there with smaller items that you source more specifically. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. Please let me know what you like about this time of year in the comments below. Until next time, I'm wishing you a cozy night with people you love.